Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Bro, we back at it again.
Back at it again. You're wearing the same thing you were wearing last night?
Yeah, I am. I was realizing that it's got like fucking kid stains all over. I'm like, dude. I usually try to change it up, but
remember when you were remember back in your single days? If you said I got kids on my sweatshirt, it meant a whole different thing. You're like, I had this girl over, I just looked down, I got some kids on my arm. Now you're like, I got kid stains on my arm. It just means go-gurt, which is kind of what it meant before, but it's a different kind of go-gurt.
Yeah, that's the thing I've had to learn, that like just like the kid stains are just like, you just like, that's what they are. I don't even know, like drool, food, milk, vomit. I'm always shit in the bathtub tonight.
Nice. Little
like
floater.
No. Mauled, big old. She stood up and I was like, dude, like it was like 3 big old turds. I'm like, Brittany, get up here. She still thinks I'm a psycho because so Molly's done this once now. Isla's done this once, and the toilet's right next to the bathtub. I just grab the turds and throw them in the bath in the toilet. What am I supposed to do?
What do you mean?
So,
what else would you do with it?
That's what I told her. I go. I don't want it floating. It's obviously disease, and there's kids' toys in there. It's like I don't want touching anything. You want to get it clean. She's like, I don't know. I'd grab her out first. I go, no, you want to grab the like. I go, literally, I'm just reaching in here and then like it's right next to the tub.
Yeah.
She's
also
like, tonight, she said again, she goes, you're so gross. She goes, I don't know anyone, Andy. You've done this twice now. To be honest, it's kind of weird. I don't know anyone who would just grab. She walked up, no lie, like 2 minutes later with a cup. I go, they're already gone. You just grabbed it with your hands?
I mean,
yeah, and I washed my hands.
I mean, if you wanted to be wasteful and like not whatever, you could just like grab some toilet paper, which is obviously going to get wet when you dunk it in the thing. But like, you're washing your hands immediately. It's not like
immediately.
You're how much shit have you had on your hands from like when you have a baby in a diaper and all that, and like
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I'd pick up my dog's shit with a plastic bag, but like I'd say
sometimes it gets your hand.
Once a month, you're like, fuck. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Wash your hand. Also, completely like, I understand them being like overly safe and being like, now we got to get them out of the tub and clean them. But it's like, do you? Because it's all soap in there. It's a self-cleaning process. Like if the kid shit in her pants, you'd put her in the tub.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, oh God, now we have to clean her and then empty the tub again. I mean, a diarrhea is a different story, but
that's the thing.
What the Dirty Sports Podcast has become. The Ruther's tales of baby poop in tubs, dropping floaters off.
And you want to hear the messed up thing? This is where I'm at in my stage in life. I was like, oh, good. She needed to poop. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no like, oh, but I was also probably happy because she was done. Like I had already cleaned her, right? So I was like happy. So I was like, oh, this is good. She needed to poop because the girls get constipated all the time. I was like, this is good. This is good. Yeah, that's it's totally fine. Like, but I can't get over her being like, you're the only one I know who would just grab it. I said to her, I go, every guy would.
I'd have been like, bitch, you're from Kentucky. Your family. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, a guy, I responded to it
That's
on
the
Twitter
poop
today.
grabbing state. Isn't that on the license plates?
Yeah, a guy had sex with a dead deer. It was in the news today in Kentucky.
Yeah.
He had sex with a dead. Somebody was driving on the road and
You can't have sex with a live deer. Then the motherfucker's a kick.
I mean, can you imagine driving on the road and you see a guy banging a dead deer?
That's some real Ohio, Kentucky shit where you're like, you know what I saw today? And you're like, we know Chris Collinsworth's house. And like, no, no, bro, today was special.
Yeah, I was like, this is your state. We actually had a little Kentucky, Ohio discussion. That spurred, I was like, this is your state. Oh, you have no clue. When I was in pharmacy school and doing you have no clue how many crazies that, we had to go around to like psychiatric wards because, we're dealing with drugs and learning things. And it's always crazy Ohio people. And I was like, that's your comeback? Like, it's crazy people everywhere. Like, that's your comeback? The people you saw when you were in pharmacy school? What?
It's funny. My mom and dad. So my mom's side of the family, definitely like the crazy, little off side of the family. She's got like 9 brothers and sisters, 8 brothers and sisters. A couple of them are like, whatever. And John obviously has had his issues through the years. And as a kid, whenever John did something that was like real fucking, borderline, like you're like, that's more than just like a kid being a kid. That's some crazy shit. My dad would always be like, that's your side of the family. That's you right there. And I was like, damn, Dad.
That's hilarious.
He's like, you don't see that on my side. You don't see that in my family tree. That shit's from your side.
Well, we always joke in my family because we never ever heard my dad really say anything bad about my mom's side. And then after my mom died, it was like, dude, it was like the floodgates where they're crazy and just all this. And I was like, and we always laugh about it. My brothers and I were like, man, mom's like dead a day, and dad's just like, oh, they're all crazy
like,
over there.
I have had some shit to say.
Yeah. Like, yo, I've been holding this in for about 50 years. Let me tell you. And by the way,
he unfurls the CVS receipt. And he's like, gets
by
a
the way,
sip of water.
I love my mom's side of the family. He's not wrong though. Like, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, like, let's call it as it is. Like, bunch of country folk. Like, he's not wrong. So I was thinking as we're doing this show, when's the last time we didn't do a live at all?
Yeah. I wonder what the answer to that is.
So we have some calls. We have some DMs.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The conversation we just had is a great segue into one of the DMs that we got. I got on Instagram. Let me pull it up. From our boy Samir, who has always been awesome and has come out and supported me at a bunch of comedy shows. He gave me a bunch of recommendations for Japan. He's spent a lot of time there. So he shot me this DM. He said, recorded pod idea. I'm about to be a dad having a boy. Top 5 things you should do with or teach your son. So basically an excuse for y'all to go down memory lane with y'all's dads. So top 5 things you should do with or teach your son.
That's like that top 5.
I got one that jumped out to me the second I got it from him. And that was you should take your son on a trip somewhere, and I'm not talking like down to the lake for a fishing trip, but like a proper trip somewhere, just you and your son, and no mom. If you end up having multiple kids, no rest of the family. And the reason I thought of that is when I was growing up, my dad traveled a lot for work. And when John was in about 3rd grade, he took John, just John and my dad. Rest of the kids stayed home with mom. I don't think Gabby would have been born yet, or she would have been just probably not even. So it was just the 3 boys. Me and Mikey stayed home with mom. John went to Hong Kong with my dad. And we were like, what? That's crazy. And then what ended up happening is when each one of us reached that age, we did the same trip with my dad. So it wasn't like, oh, this is unfair. John got to go. It's like, then when I was in 3rd grade, I went alone on the trip with my dad. Then when Mikey was in 3rd grade, he went alone on the trip with my dad. And it just felt like it's like a very like core, like dad, son memory. Cause like mom's not there and your brothers aren't there to like whatever. And it's just like you and dad. And it feels, if you have one kid, it's one thing, but when you have multiple kids, it feels special to be like, I'm going, this is like our thing. And each one of us came back having like different trips and having done different things. And then some of the things like I did, like I was like, Mikey, I got a remote control car when I was there. There's this lobby area you could drive, and he's like, I'm doing it. And like,
so where'd you go?
Hong Kong.
You went to Hong Kong too. Okay.
Yeah. So we all went to Hong Kong, and that
was it a certain age where you like?
Yeah, it was like 10, I guess, or
where you guys were like, okay,
8. What? How old are you in 3rd grade? 8,
9.
Yeah, I think it was probably about 8. And I remember I didn't want to go because
was that the first time you left the went like big time overseas?
No, I'd been to Paris before that as well. Younger than that. That's the first time I'd ever left. I think I was like 4 or 5 when we went to Paris. And that was me and John. Mikey got left at home because he was a baby. He got left at home with my grandparents. So, yeah. But
that is cool to have a dad trip. I never got one, truthfully, even as an adult. So, like, how long do you think you were there? A couple weeks? A week?
A week, probably a week. Yeah, a week or like 10 days or something like that. And it was like a work trip for him. But like, dude, you know what's insane? Looking back on it now, this is the God's honest truth. There was no, dude. I was 8. And my dad was in a high-rise office building working in Hong Kong. And I would just go do my own thing. Like just get in the elevator, go all the way downstairs. There's like a candy store in the lobby. I'd go walk around the big outside lobby. Like, can you imagine seeing an 8-year-old? Not only an 8-year-old like just roaming around your neighborhood, in one of the world's biggest metropolis, just like he's like, that kid's. And I remember they had moving walkways in the lobby of this big building. No joke, my shoelace was untied and it got caught in the end of the moving walkway, and I thought it was gonna rip my leg off. Like I was like, I'm gonna die, and I like panicked and I like yanked, and my shoelace broke. And I was like, and I like went back upstairs and I was like, oh, my shoelace got caught in the moving walkway. And he's like, that's crazy. And I was like, I was scared I was going to die. He's like, that's nuts. And then we were like leaving for the day. And there's like 40 Chinese guys like with the fucking, caution tape everywhere. They're like in there with like wrenches and shit like that. Like I shut down the whole moving walkway. They're like, what the fuck happened in here?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky you didn't end up on like Epstein Island, bro.
I know. Like that.
The kid just like you're trafficked.
You think about now, like in Hong Kong, somebody just seeing like a white kid and being like, "Oh, I can get 40 grand for that."
Yeah.
But like, my dad bought me a remote control car. I'd be like, I'm just gonna go downstairs and like go to the outer area and just like drive my remote control car around.
That's insane.
Yeah. But it was really cool, and that's something like I look back on it and was like, man, it was really cool. And I always think I was like, it's really cool that he did it with all of us.
That is cool. That's a memory you'll just never forget.
Yeah.
Well, I think to your point, I mean, and you could do it with a daughter as well, but I think with a son, any individual, especially when you have siblings, you're right. Any individual time is pretty precious, truthfully,
Yeah.
because you're always
But even
fighting.
even like, I like if I feel like it's way less common these days for people to have like 4 and 5 kids. Just like everything's so goddamn expensive and
Yeah.
whatever. But I think even if you were an only child, I think sometimes it's really cool to just be like, oh, it's a me and mom trip, or it's a me and dad trip. Like, go let mom do her thing. We're gonna go do this. It's like,
It's
you know, there's
important.
there's a total different dynamic. I mean, you were just talking about it with like mom's up there and like dad's touching shit with his hands, and you're like, well, it's not a big deal. Like, there's
Yeah.
always that dynamic takes precedent over like it goes this way first before it goes down to the kid, and it's like I just think sometimes like riding shotgun with like either one of your parents is like
No, it is. It's
important.
very important. I'll be honest, like because I see families that everything is together, and I knew this just being, you and you have wisdom with age, and it's like you see other people, but like my therapist, you know him, he had said to me when we had our second kid, he's like, now it's very important that you guys have your separate. That was one of his pieces of advice, was like, you have Isla time, Brittany has Isla time. Like, because she needs those moments with just mom or just dad, because like you said, it's a different dynamic. They feel special. Like that's how I tee it up, of like, we're like, even if it's not a big deal, like we're going on a trip somewhere, even if it's just something stupid to like the store, like, oh, it's just our little thing. And I think with the son, obviously, Samir, you're a sports guy. Like my advice would be like for me,
I
and
was
I've
just
talked about
about
it a
to
million
say, yeah.
times. It's like going to a game. It's pretty awesome. Like those are some of my best memories.
I was
Going
just
to,
about to say it's crazy because it's on theme. But I remember as a kid being probably not that much older than I was when I'm roaming Hong Kong on my own, stumbling into a Kumite fight or whatever. But the first time my mom put me on the Metro North train from Katona to Grand Central Station on my own, where my dad met me, and then we went to the Garden for a game, and being like, "This is like that was the equivalent to me of like an adventure you see in a movie. You're like, you're going on the train to New York City by yourself. You're gonna meet your dad. He's gonna take you to the Knicks game." And I was just like, "This is the greatest day of my like." I'm sure I said
yeah.
this is the greatest day of my life. And so yeah, sporting event. That's especially with a boy. I don't know some years like what his sport of choice is, but like, damn if going to a baseball game as a kid with your dad,
Baseball's the
bringing
easiest.
the,
It makes,
bringing the glove and getting a
yeah.
hot dog, and it's kind of turnkey American dad shit right
What
there.
is? It's slow paced. You can teach your kid,
Teach your kid stuff. Teach
obviously
your kid
the
to keep
NFL and
score.
the NBA.
Teach your
Yeah.
kid to keep score. Top 5 things to do. My dad didn't teach me to keep score because he wouldn't know fucking how to keep score with a English to Italian translation. Um, but I think that'll be something that's on my top 5 things to do with my kid. Take my kid to a ball game, teach him to keep score.
I don't even know how to keep score. I never learned it. I never cared to. I mean, I'll be honest.
Well, I gotta say, Andy, you're not much of a baseball guy these days, but I feel like as a kid, for a man who loves his spreadsheets, I feel like you would really take into keeping score.
Well, I would have if my dad would have showed me. He
Yeah,
was too busy. He was too busy
slamming
drinking
beers.
drinking beer and eating peanuts. He was a peanut guy. I
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
which I never really got into, to be honest. I never really understood. I'm like, why are you eating peanuts all the time? You big old bag of peanuts.
He's like, because they're salty, and then it makes me want to drink more beer.
I mean, five things is tough. Like, I'm trying to think, you know, one of the things my dad was like, was I would say this, one of his weaknesses with all his kids, he never taught us much, truthfully. Not to knock him, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, sadly, I think I share a lot of that personality of like the lack of patience. That would be a thing I would say. It's like,
Now, would you say that your dad, like, did he teach your older brothers and then it was supposed to be like passed down, or he just like what that was in his jam?
no, I mean, basic things, like, catch and yeah, he taught us like that, and we catch the ball, baseball, football, but like, I'm saying, like, my dad never sat us down and was like, this is how you change a tire. This is
Yeah.
how you drive a stick. This is how, like, just even when I lived with him that summer 6 years ago, he didn't have the patience where I was like, hey, you're great on the grill. You're great. There was no, just like, he'd take over
Yeah.
if I was trying to grill. Like, teach me how to use a charcoal grill. I have no experience, right? Because I lived in California. And it's like, we didn't have charcoal grills, obviously, at the Smudge Studio and Smudge Shack and Savage Town. It's like, but it was like, you don't know what you're doing. Okay, well then,
Yeah,
show me.
it's funny you should say that. I think that's a great. It wasn't on, like, I didn't make a list of these because I figured we'd talk it out. But I think that you bring up a great point. If you're a dad, when they get to a certain age, teach your kid to fry an egg, cook some bacon, teach your kid to grill a steak or grill a hamburger. Because you know what? The first guy who's got the skill to do that becomes like a very valuable person at
Oh
like
yeah, in
high
your friend group.
school grill out or like college barbecue, or like you turn 22, you go out into the real world, you start having girls sleep over, you get up in the morning, you're like, you want a bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast burrito? And they're like, what? And you're like, yeah, bitch. I think I just fucking kick you out.
Yeah.
You send them on the way with a little, be like, no, I'm gonna put in some tinfoil so you can get on your way, honey bunny. But I'll make you some breakfast to go.
It's true. That's very true. You and I like to cook.
Yeah.
It's an asset. Like, I do all the cooking here, and it's 100% an asset. I mean, look, I don't know. This generation is so, or these whatever. I don't even know what generation it would be now. Kids born, but like, everything is moving so fast. It's so different. Like, I don't know. I try to be aware with kids of just like not trying to be buried in my phone, because they pick up and then they're just going to reciprocate. So it's like, that would be a thing I would want to teach. It's like, you have a son and he's into basketball, or he's into baseball or football, like whatever. It's like, watch videos, cool, but like, do it with them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
go out there and actually be active.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
And I talk about it, like, I mean, obviously they'd be too young now, but like, challenge them to actually talk to a girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. These guys are just, again, they don't drink alcohol, they don't talk, they don't fornicate. I'm just like, what are you kids doing, man?
It's weird because it's like, I don't know what you're when you like, if we're like staying to the plot here and being like what you would teach, like, I don't know how you put this on a list, but something I really appreciate. And I talked about this at my dad's funeral when I gave his eulogy. This was like the big thing for like me and my dad, is when I was living in New York City and he was still working in New York City. When I finally got out of school, he was still working. There was a window. There was like a 3 or 4 or 5 year window where I was there and he was still there. And probably the most seminal moments of my life were like lunch with my dad during a work day, or like a dinner after a work day, where he's like, we're going to go to this restaurant. You know, what do you want, a beer? You want a bottle of wine? You want to eat this? Chatting up the waitresses, talking to the maitre d'. This is how you get into a place. This is how you, oh, you don't have a reservation. This is how you slip a guy a couple bucks. This is how you, oh, you know, this place will be busy, but it's real good. But if we go, we sit at the bar. The guy at the bar is great. You can eat a steak at the bar. It's the same as steak that you get at a table, but there's always, it's first come, first serve there. Just kind of like the teach your kid how to like
adult there.
Like, yeah, kind of just like adult,
life
or just kind
lessons.
of like, yeah, just kind of like, I don't know, teach them some angles, you know, like teach them, like, I feel like I learned how to like talk to the people in the service industry, or like talk to a cute waitress, or like talk to a girl at the other end of the bar, or like,
yeah, it is important.
Yeah.
That's,
and it wasn't like, he wasn't like, I'm teaching you this. He was just like,
sure,
we're gonna eat this, and we're gonna do this. You want it, you're gonna want to have that. It wasn't like a teaching moment, but it was like something to do with them, that like where they're. I actually like, I learned a lot.
What you do, you learn by example. I
learned about different neighborhoods in New York, and where to go if you wanted to eat this, and where to go if you wanted to eat that. Where are you going to go if you're going to take a girl out on a date? Where to, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, and I've talked about it before. Definitely, you know, on my solo pod, but like, and I'm sure you feel this way, like after your dad passes, like you start to reflect on all these things, which didn't really, the light bulb didn't go off at the time, but like one of the best things my old man taught me was, I mean, I think about it still, that night we all got smashed at Dave Matthews, and he pulled me out of bed to work, and he's literally throwing water on me, and I'm in college. And I just kept going back to bed. I was working for a moving company, and it's just that the lesson was, and I called him at work later that day. I literally just slept in. But like, it was a great lesson, because he just told me, he's like, dude, I don't care if you go out with your friends all night. You gotta go to work though. Which was a great lesson. Like, and not to say that I didn't do that again, you know, where I skipped work, but his point was, go out, get smashed. I don't give a shit. You're 20 years old. Party with your buddies. You're all getting hammered at a outdoor, you know, Dave Matthews concert. But like, sorry, man, you're supposed to be at work at 7. You're going in drunk. You're going in hungover.
I mean, Ruther's. This has been your. You've brought this to the dirty sports. You'll talk about it. You're like, Gronk does his thing, but like Gronk fucking shows up and plays, scores touchdowns.
That's what I stand by it. Like, I don't care what you do with the girls, the partying. You got to show, and again, that's why, like, a guy like a Manziel, you couldn't hack it.
Yeah,
you probably didn't have the skill set either, but for the NFL. But yeah, I mean, and that's truthfully, you know, I maybe it's different with girls. I was like, I don't know how I'll be with my girls, but like, just fucking show up to work, man. You were out doing whatever.
Yeah.
Which by the way, God, it's, you know what sucks about having girls? Side note, is you'll see something and you're like I was like, she was watching, what is it? Tell Me Lies. What is that, on Netflix or one of these? Have you heard, you know, the show? Oh, it's one of these streaming. Anyway, I don't even know what it's about. I think it's more of a female show, and it's college kids, and it's very sexual, and they were going over like a graphic rape, and I was like, I just looked at Brittany. I hate that my mind instantly thinks about my daughters like 15 years from now, 16. I was like, in my head, I'm like, that's the difference between having a boy and a girl. Yeah. I mean, it is, right? Like, you think about like the thought of them being in awful situations or being at a college party. So savor it, Samir. Like, you know, as a boy, like it's like my buddy from college. What was the line? He was from Arkansas. What did his dad say? He's like, they had 4 boys. He's like, it's great having 4 boys. I only got to worry about 4 dicks in the whole town. 1 girl, I got to worry about every dick in the whole town.
Yeah.
This is the great line.
Yeah. I think
Well,
those
we-
are all good. And teach a kid to jump
Yeah.
a car, and teach a kid to change a tire, and teach a kid to throw a baseball, and teach a kid to make a, right-handed layup off the backboard, and honestly, well, teach a kid to have a drink responsibly. I think there's nothing worse than a kid who goes to college and has never fucking been off leash at all, and then all of a sudden they're problematic. Yeah,
me. I mean, my parents.
I was like, I mean,
yeah,
I
my
probably like
mom was.
I got way too drunk in high school, but the time I got to college, I was like, all right, I know my limits. I wasn't the kid that was getting his stomach pumped at the fucking university fucking hospital.
I didn't know my limits till waking up on that sidewalk.
So
I was like,
31?
yo, these are my limits. I'm gonna stop here at 33. I had a good
Yeah.
run. I'm gonna do the Jesus. I'm gonna tap out at 33. I'm out of here. Okay, so we do have
some
we're
sports
30
golf.
minutes in.
Yeah.
Let's get through some of these.
Yeah.
Let's play some calls. Do you want any recent discussions?
I'll let you let it fly,
Okay.
Ruther. I'm not going to teach you how to run your show.
Let's do I'll hold on to the Bears thing. Obviously, we had a big Bears discussion literally last night. But we'll play that. We have some calls. The truth is, I just saved all these. These have been kind of coming in last month, so I don't even remember some of these. But let's start off with this one.
Hey boys, Brian Heinrich calling in to propose a discussion for those possible pre-taped episodes. As sports people, I think we all enjoy naming random players with our friends. So, in spirit of that, who would be on your guys' Mount Rushmore of NBA and NFL players who you think are the best non-Hall of Famers? Like your Al Horfords and your Sean Marions and Matt Fortes and like a Randall Cunninghams. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Condoms are always for Kirk Cousins and all his cringe Viking quarterback successors. Peace.
Okay. So, I mean, the Mount Rushmore,
yeah. So I think I'm going to take like kind of almost a different approach. Like the Mount Rushmore. When you say the Mount Rushmore, you're talking about like essentially the 4 best players to do something that didn't make it to the Hall of Fame. I'm going to kind of take it like a different angle, like some of my favorite great players that aren't, that aren't in the Hall of Fame, didn't get like the crazy accolades. Then immediately it jumped out to me in the NBA. My guy, like one of my all-time favorite guys, like honestly, one of my all-time favorite players to watch is Jamal Crawford. Like, I love watching Jamal Crawford play. I feel like Jamal Crawford comes into the league today. He might be a Hall of Famer because he's so skilled and such a good shooter, such an ability to get off his shot, and like a little bit undersized, a little bit skinny for the time in the NBA where it was a little bit more like bully ball. And like, honestly, maybe my favorite NBA player to watch outside of like guys who are legit, like no doubt about it, Hall of Famers. Like he's to me a guy who's more fun to watch than a lot of guys who are like in the Hall of Fame, but just like, all right, you're like, okay, all right, Chauncey Billups in the Hall of Fame. Okay, Chris Paul's in the Hall of Fame. Like one day, like sure, but like I'd watch Jamal Crawford play 5 minutes of basketball. Then I'd rather watch that than the Chris Paul's career highlight film.
yeah.
So he's up there for me.
So you instantly thought of him.
Another guy I instantly thought of in the NBA, Glenn Rice.
He's pretty
Glenn
smooth.
Rice. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame. Feels like he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Is Tim Hardaway in the Hall of Fame?
Tim Hardaway is in the Hall of Fame, I believe.
He is.
I believe he's in the Hall of Fame. I could be wrong. You could double check that for me. He's another one. I mean, I remember used to do the killer crossover.
NBA Jam?
Yeah, well, it was like he had his little crossover move. I was just like, no, I go like out in the playground and Try to hit kids with the killer crossover.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Another good one. Nick Killer when he was on the Heat. Early on with those Warriors teams. Incredible. And now you bring up the Warriors. You know who's a first ballot Joe Prano Hall of Famer? Latrell Sprewell. That guy. Hammer dunking. I loved him when
choking his coach.
Funny. It's funny. Yeah. It's funny because like his Knicks career was like great and good, but like his early days on the Warriors, he was fucking bananas good.
I'm trying to think of because now I'm thinking just like random guys. The Warriors have kind of had a lot of those guys that like were like Monte Ellis and Bear. I'm God, my memory. Other point guard, little chubby from UCLA. Baron Vaughn.
Baron Davis.
Baron Davis.
Yeah.
Who's Baron Vaughn? Did I just make up a name?
He's a comedian.
Okay, that's a comedian.
Yeah.
But right, Baron. But you see what I'm
Also
saying?
a
Like,
black
guy. Yeah, look nothing alike.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like guys who had like some real nice years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go back to Hart. Like it seems that seemed to be like a thing then apparently for the Warriors. I'm trying to think of some other guys who were real.
All my NBA guys are like 90s guys because like that's when you really get into the NBA. When you're a kid, you're like, but I'll tell you this: I had his Dream Team 2 jersey. You know who I loved? Little Thunder Dan Marley. Fuck
you
yeah,
loved Marley.
Love me some Thunder Dan. Thunder Dan, dude, like, bro, he was like the third banana on that Suns team that went to the finals. He was fucking good.
I had a thing for a while for the Charlotte Hornets with Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah. Kendall Gill. Glenn Rice is on those teams.
Yeah, now you're.
Del Curry was on those teams.
He was.
Anthony Mason got mixed into that team a little bit later on.
Oh yeah, the '90s era, you can just get lost in these.
Vlade was on that team
before he was traded.
I think that would be. Is that the trade? Is that who they traded? Is that where was it? Charlotte that drafted Kobe, traded him for Vlade.
Drafted Kobe. It was the other way around. Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah,
13th overall.
Yeah,
but you get lost in those '90s teams. You're like.
Everybody's wearing pinstripes. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah. You're like Detlef Shrimp. You're like, what? You're like, yeah dude.
Detlef Shrimp was nice too.
Detlef Shrimp was nice.
I'll tell you who I loved on what was his name? Fucking was it Sam Mitchell? Big lefty, big man on Seattle. He's like one of the first centers that would just like pop out and bang a three.
Sam Mitchell.
Is Rasheed Wallace in the Hall of Fame? Because he's an all-timer. He's got to be in the Hall of Fame, right? Is Rasheed Wallace in the Hall of Fame?
No, he's not.
No?
No way.
Bro, Rasheed Wallace might be the legit best player not in the Hall of Fame.
You're out of your mind.
What do you mean I'm out of my mind?
He's a 4-time All-Star, which is like whatever. You know, he's never.
Bro, but this is my point. He got kicked around from dog shit team to dog shit team, the fucking Bullets, the Jailblazers, the fucking whatever. He was a problem, dude. He'd hammer dunk. He'd bang a three. He played defense. The perfect example of one of those guys that we're talking about. This, and again, this was the Joe Prano's greatest gambling moment in history. The second he got traded to the Detroit Pistons, I was like, I put my net worth on them to win the championship. They did. And I doubled down when they went to the playoffs because I was like, Rasheed Wallace is a problem. Rasheed Wallace like now he didn't, again, we're talking about the work ethic and whatever. He didn't have the KG drive, but he was everything that KG was on some fucking trash teams without just like the crazy psycho drive.
Okay, what about football?
Well, this should be called the Eli Manning Award.
Guys who are just like good but not Hall of Fame. I feel like you could do a million running backs, a million wide receivers.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's the recency conversations, but to me, like, you think about how long a guy like Frank Gore played. I'm like, how is Frank Gore not in the Hall of Fame? I know he wasn't like, oh my God. But like, when you talk about like just guys that were fun to watch, there's how many receivers must there be
That's what I'm saying.
that are like not in the Hall of Fame, but were just like electric and that's the thing with the NFL. It's like for a moment you get him for like,
I mean, Torrey Holt was good for a fucking decade, damn near.
yeah.
Like he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think Isaac Bruce is, but like that era of guys, or even like oh, I forget his name. DeAndre Hopkins basically took over for him in the Texans.
Andre Johnson.
That's what I'm saying. Like Andre Johnson was like a beast.
Dude, yeah, I think his like first 8 years out of the league, it was like the greatest 8 years of football receiver had ever had up to the time.
But like he probably won't make the Hall of Fame because just guys have so many numbers and you fall off. And I mean, Ocho Cinco was fun to watch. He's never gonna make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Again, kind of in that same era of guys, of players. And you're like, what happened? Or again, a lot of it's like, you're gonna laugh at this. You know how I used to like watching because I was like, I don't know what this guy is. He was like a blast from the past, but he's fun to watch. Mike Allstott. You're just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, just running fucking dudes over. Pull up a Mike Allstott highlight reel sometime and just have yourself a day. You know who else? You want to have like 4 minutes of just like absolute boner fun. Like Jeremy Shockey's highlight tape is Jeremy Shockey's highlight tape is him like going out of his, like, he's running backwards. You're like, bro, you're losing 12 yards. He's like, yeah, but I'm gonna run that motherfucker over. You're like, he fell down in the backfield and he's like running him over and then fucking tripping. You're like, all right, you lost 14 yards. Like, I just want to run dudes over.
This will make you feel old. Mike Allstott's son was a QB at Purdue, then Western Michigan, from 2017 to 2020.
Wow.
Like that was 6 years ago when he stopped being a QB.
Yeah.
Like, that'll make you feel old. Shockey was nice for a minute, by the way. He was a little wild one too. He was hurt. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he hurt that Super Bowl?
Yeah. Yeah. He was hurt. And that was the year. I mean, the first Super Bowl year is the year after Tiki leaves and Shockey gets hurt. And, the greatest player not in the Hall of Fame put the team on his back, though.
How about that tight end run that the U had? They had Shockey, they had Olsen, then they had Mr. Legacy.
Yeah.
It's about legacy, yo.
Jimmy Graham was in there. Wasn't he? Yeah.
That's right.
And like didn't get any run. But then was like, oh, I'll just go to the NFL and catch like 40 touchdowns a year. The Giants had, before they had
by the way, he's a good player for this list.
Yeah. Jimmy Graham.
Yeah,
for sure. Jimmy Graham was like how I won a fantasy football league for like 8 consecutive years. People would just be like, oh yeah. I'm like, bro, all he does is catch touchdowns. It's just jump ball. I mean, Jimmy Graham is the reason why it's embarrassing to ever argue the NFL NBA thing. Like The greatest tight end to ever walk the planet is LeBron James. Like that's like who's the greatest tight end ever? LeBron James. Which that story came out recently. Did you see that? Pete Carroll trying to court LeBron James to join the Seahawks, apparently.
Wasn't that already out before?
Maybe. I thought so too. My memory's so bad. I was like, yeah, have I seen this before? They're like newly released.
No, I thought that was out before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, you can I think it's just way easier to go down that rabbit hole. Obviously, we're doing it pretty easily. I mean, because you just start thinking about these guys again who were just like hot for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it on the defensive side of the ball too. Like, you think about like I know he's obviously made a name for himself. Oh, is John Lynch a Hall of Fame player? He might.
I think he is.
Yeah. But then, it was like his same kind of ilk, but like he was kind of like poor man's is like, remember Adam Archuleta? He's fucking on the Cardinals and like taking guys' fucking heads off.
Rams too. Yeah, Rams drafted him. He's an announcer. He's been an announcer.
You know who's on my low-key favorite NFL players? He never sniffed the Hall of Fame and never would, but I'll tell you, he's kind of my Jamal Crawford of quarterbacks. The guy who I was like, bro, you get him on a good team, he'd be fucking legit, and he kind of was for a minute.
Jake Plummer.
Jake the Snake.
I knew you were gonna say that. I
loved me some Jake the Snake back in the day.
Yeah,
loved me some Snake.
He was sneaky good.
He was sneaky good, and he was on the Cardinals. Everybody's like, all right, yeah, but I was like, bro, I'm telling you, he's on the Cardinals. That's
and
the
now
problem.
He just does ayahuasca, I think.
Now he does ayahuasca. I think he hacky sacks. I think he plays professional handball. He's literally, I think he literally has his own mushroom company, doesn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's in the magic mushroom business when he's not playing professional handball.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had those later years on the Broncos. And then you have the reverse. You have the guys who you're just, speaking of the Broncos and also the Bears, you have a guy like a Kyle Orton. You're like, why are you still on teams? You're so boring to watch. Why are you still in the league?
That year that they went to the Super Bowl, do you remember? It was like him and Rex Grossman just like the whole year. The coach was like, I can't play either one of you. I mean, they split that whole season basically.
Did they?
Yeah.
In my head, I was thinking it was more Grossman.
Grossman took over eventually. But, I mean, I bet you Kyle Orton started 6 games that year.
What season is that? 2006?
Yeah. It's their Super Bowl season?
Is that 2007 Super Bowl? He didn't play that year.
No. Is that the year they won the Super Bowl? Or is that the year they went to the Super Bowl? No, because the 2007 Super Bowl would have been
the 2006 season.
Okay, maybe you're right. What year did the Bears go to the Super Bowl?
Guarantee it's that year.
Okay.
If my memory serves me correctly.
2007 Super Bowl for the 2006 season. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, Bears went 13-3 that year.
And Kyle Orton didn't play any games? You trying to tell me that?
I'm trying to tell you that. Yeah.
What? Was it the year before?
Rex Grossman started all 16.
Wow. Shows you where my memory's at. I feel like he took that job from Kyle Orton though. Am I crazy?
No, you're not. He did. Orton, dude, listen to this stat. The year before, Orton started 15 of the 16 games. The Bears also had a good year, 10-5. Orton, 51% completion percentage, 1,800 yards. Again, starting 15 games, 9 touchdowns to 13 interceptions.
Yeah, that's bad.
Did
Kyle Orton also come back and play after they went to the Super Bowl? No, he couldn't have.
He did, not really the next year, but then yeah, in 2008, he started 15 games for the Bears. Then becomes the Denver starter.
Where did Kyle Orton go to school? You remember?
Purdue.
There you go.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's a nice list of guys. You know who I liked watching play, and again, his stats weren't crazy. I liked watching Cordell Stewart play, bro.
Yeah. He was fun.
Or like, just he could do some exciting stuff. Antoine Randall.
You like
punt
a
returns?
you like a mixed bag guy. You like a guy who can throw a little, catch a little, run a little. You'd have been a big Frank Gifford fan back in the day.
Yeah. If I was born in the 50s.
You're a big Kathy Lee fan to this day. I know that.
That's hilarious. All right, let's pull up
Let's pull this out while we're here.
you pulling out the Miller Lite?
Yeah.
Should we play I gotta play the Bo Jackson thing if you're pulling out the Miller Lite.
Yeah.
You sent this to me the other day. This is amazing. This Bo Jackson story. I think he did on whose podcast did he do this on?
I don't know.
I think he did it on one of the
Is it like the MLB?
no, was it
0 for 2 in a game.
it's so this is Bo Jackson. It's on is it one of the long kids? Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Great story here from Bo Jackson involving Miller Lite.
I went 0 for 2 in a game, my first 2 at-bats. I think I left 3 guys on the base in 2 at-bats, pissed. So what you do, I told the manager, hey, I'm going up to the locker room. I'm going to the freezer. We got a refrigerator in the locker room. I got nothing but beer in it because that's what ball players drink. I went up in the middle of the game because I'm in the hole, so I'm batting third, the end, and we come in. I walk out the field, I tell her I'm going to the cooler. I go up and get me a Miller Lite. Chug it. Walk back down the tunnel. Get by the manager, Bert, in his face. And he's like, that smells good. Get up, get on deck, get up to the plate, and hit a bomb.
Yeah.
So by the time I come back around the bases, they sent the clubhouse guy up because it's in the middle of the summer and we play on turf. I go to put my feet in my ice bucket. They got a 6-pack of Miller in there. So Willie Wilson, who was the center field, he said, drink one of them motherfuckers every time before you get up to bat. He's chugging and go up and hit some shit to Louisville, Kentucky.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
It's so great. And I love, what I love is like the specific Miller Lite shout out, not just because we're a Miller Lite show, I'm a Miller Lite guy, not just because, it's my favorite beer, but because I know he can see it when he's telling the story. That's what Miller Lite, he can see. He's like, I went in, he wasn't like, I grabbed a beer. He's like, I grabbed a Miller Lite because he is still visualizing getting to that freezer, getting to that refrigerator. Can you imagine pulling that open and seeing that logo, seeing the big light? It sticks with him to this day. That he was like, then I went out, hit a bomb. I'm like, man, I feel like if the legal drinking age in this country was just a little bit lower, I might not ever given up my baseball career as young as I did. It might have just been like, you know what? Maybe that's all I needed before every at bat was a Miller Lite. Certainly helps for this podcast.
Well, what just a legendary story again from Bo Jackson. It's like he's in the funk mentally, right? We all know how baseball is such a mental game. 0 for 3, like he said. He needs something to relax and take the edge off. Boom. Has a Miller Lite.
And you know what, Andy?
It's
I
a
bet you
bomb.
this is 85, 86. I bet you were talking about him being like, this is the 10th anniversary of Miller Lite. He's like, I'm going to have one of these 10th anniversary beers.
Well, I mean, yeah, again, like what a legendary moment. And here we are 51 years later since the inception of Miller Lite. I mean, look, guys, here's all I'll say about this. If Bo Jackson, arguably one of the greatest athletes, definitely in our generation, but ever, for what he could do, sadly, injuries, kind of wrecked that. But
Yeah.
for what he was, Bo Jackson was so good, and he was like, "Yo, Miller Lite's gonna make me that much better."
And listen, here's the thing about being a professional athlete. That word there before athlete is key. Professional. Being a professional athlete. It's just his job. He was just like, what makes me do my job better? Oh, Miller Lite. I'm just saying, if you have a big PowerPoint, maybe keep a mini fridge, just like I do. I'm a podcaster. I'm a comedian. I crack a Miller Lite before we do this podcast. During this podcast, I had a Miller Lite on stage last night at the Comedy Store. You're about to do a big presentation? Maybe a Miller Lite. You're about to try a case in court. Maybe crack a light.
Yeah. I mean, it works for Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Guys, cheers to legendary moments just like this. Cheers to legendary moments with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to, let me pull that up. I didn't even have that up. Go to MillerLite.com
/dirty sports.
Dirty Sports. There it is. To find
and get your work steroids.
Yeah, what?
Get your work juice.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I accidentally exited all this stuff out. Okay, let's try that again. Go to MillerLite.com /dirty sports to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Do a Bo Jackson. Get your PEDs. Get your performance enhancing drinks. Get your profession enhancing drinks.
Let me
What
here's a good
story,
segue.
bro. That's like,
it's a legendary tale.
I feel like if I could have lived any story, I might choose that one. The time I hit a big league homer after I went and slammed a Miller Lite, and then the team, the clubby, was like, let's give him some Miller Lights for his feats post game. I'm gonna start doing buckets of Miller Lights for my feats post ski outings.
It's amazing. Good segue from Miller Lite. Let's do a call about the Bears Stadium. We talked about
Bears.
it, since that's a big Miller Lite town. All right, so we did get a call from Chicago resident. It's a nice 2-minute detail. Like he took notes. You could tell. He says he did. Like,
okay.
He just wants to break it down. Like, this is my perspective. This is what's happening.
Andy and Joe, Steve from Chicago calling, or Chicago suburbs. Been listening to y'all for a long time. Saw y'all in Chicago and New Orleans. Great time. Calling about the Bears. Soldier Field is a complete dump. Parking lot, it took us about an hour to get out of the parking lot to the Packers playoff game. Bathrooms there are miserable, about half as many men's as women's. I'm not sure if that's equality or what. Lines are crazy long. A lot of people buy us in the seats just peeing bottles. Tailgating's limited to about 3 hours before the game. Not too many restaurants nearby, and the stadium, I can't say enough, is decades behind something like a SoFi, Allegiant. I've only ever been to Jerry World, but it is awful compared to Jerry World. McCaskey's, I think for someone who's lived around here, notoriously cheap. Ticket prices have jumped, I think 8% in 24, 10% last year. It's going up another 13% this year, just to cover the PSL tax losses. Fan experience is always neglected. Even the drum line, only exists because of McCaskey's grandson is in it. It's awful. It gets about 30 seconds twice a game. Also, I put this in my notes, Soldier Field is also so bad that 15 years ago, Friends of the Park chewed out George Lucas because he wanted to put his Star Wars stadium there, saying they want the parking lot itself. Most fans drive in from the suburbs. Very few take public transit, only because I was a Red Line man myself. Used to go to the games. Last one, city leadership, brutal. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson publicly have said negative things about the Bears. Who would want to be in the city of Chicago when your mayor and your governor don't support you? As always, condoms are for Packer fans.
I mean, look, he laid the case pretty well.
Also, great call, first of all, Steve.
Yeah.
Awesome call. Kind of said what I said, right? This seems like it's on everybody. Like, the owner's cheap, fucking don't care about the stadium, bad experience, but also Chicago ain't doing shit for you. So this is why we're at where we're at. Here's a fun little sidebar, Andy. And I have this little token that he gave me today of his Hollywood Walk of Fame. We had Joe Mantegna on the Jay Moore show today. Legendary Italian-American actor, known Chicago guy. In fact, I learned this today. I didn't know this. I always thought it was George Wendt, the original host to participate in the Bears sketch. Joe Mantegna. I did not know that. They wrote the Bears sketch for Joe Mantegna. I asked him about it, and he was fully in favor of the Bears moving to Indiana. He was like, it's 20 minutes away. It's not that big a deal. They're still the Chicago Bears. Soldier Field's a dump. He's like, not only is it a dump, but then they tried to make it nice. They tried to renovate it, and it just looks weird, and it's not that much better. They just put some weird spaceship thing on top. He's like, they had the worst of both worlds. Instead of just keeping the old stadium vibes, they made poor modern adjustments. He's like, it's crazy that they play without a retractable roof, at least on the banks of Lake Michigan. It's fucking freezing. He's like, no one wants to go to a game there when it's that goddamn cold. He's like, and Chicago's not doing it. He's like, take that team and build them a super nice stadium somewhere else. They're the Chicago Bears. I was like, this is now 2 calls in a row. I'm like, I'm convinced. Now, am I a kind of guy who's like, Chicago should pony up and build them a super stadium? Yeah, I am. It doesn't sound like the politicians in Chicago are about to do that anytime soon. So this is on everybody involved.
Yeah, I mean, again, just total mess. It sounds like. I would hate to see a dome.
I understand your sentiment, and I think that for certain places, you kind of almost have to go. Let's be honest. With the technology we have today, I mean, Toronto has had a retractable dome for fucking 40 years. Like, how old is the fucking Sky Dome? So, with the technology today, why isn't every state, why are any of them just full-time domes?
Because they're gonna go to the dome more than they go open air, I think.
Yeah. Listen, I gotta say, you and I both talk about how football's better on TV and whatever. And it's like, we're not going to games, but we want Chicago fans to go sit outside in fucking 12 degrees so that it looks better for us on TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a visual thing for us. It's selfish.
Totally. I mean, to me, I think the baseline answer, even if you go dome, the baseline answer is you got to go fucking Arizona style and have real grass. They have a method. The grass just fucking rolls out. What's the problem? Everybody can do this. Why? I
don't know why more people don't do it.
Problem is solved. And I understand that Arizona's weather is a little bit different. You can just roll it outside and it's going to be fine and whatever. But Fucking roll out grass. Like we need natural grass. Also, how do greenhouses work? Because they certainly certainly raise a lot of greenery in greenhouses. Isn't that greenhouse just like a really small fucking dome? Just have
Yeah,
natural grass. Bottom line, have natural grass. And the audacity to build these stadiums that are outside and then don't have natural grass. How dare you?
Yeah. If they can make it work in Arizona where it's hot as shit. Okay, I want to read this DM. I cut off his. I'm not going to show the actual DM, but I cut off his name. Which dirtball sent me this? Where is this? Sorry. Anyway, let me pull this up. So, this is the question. I think you're gonna like this one. Sorry, man. I forget. This face? I forget. Anyway, I can't find the name on it. Anyway, listen to this scenario. Cool game idea for the pre-record of another podcast I just listened to that played a game. Listen, so this is the game.
Yeah.
One person wishes for something, and the other person gets to put a spin on it. And then you get to decide if you still want your wish.
Ooh,
Okay. Example. Andy wishes the Browns sell the Bengals tomorrow. Then Joe says, I only get that I would only get that wish if Zach Taylor was the head coach for the next 20 years.
Interesting.
So, like, that's the game. And obviously, I don't know if he wants it sports related. I think we should keep it sports related.
Okay.
By the way, that was a great example.
Great example.
No. As much as I hate them.
So you think their success right now is more on coaching than it is on ownership? Well, also, do you like when you say
I'm
no?
looking at my own age. I'm like, I'm 60, damn near 65.
Yeah. When Zach Taylor's not the coach anymore. But also, are you a Bengals fan? Like, it's. But then you're saying, yeah.
If they sold the team.
So if you sold the team, this would be your chance to get back in. But the only chance you have to get back in is with Zach Taylor as a coach for the next 2 decades.
Oh.
You take your chances on the free and fair market?
Yeah, I take my chances that maybe they're never going to win with the Browns. Although, 20 years of that guy. I say so. I say, no, I can't do that. Because, like, here's the thing. In this weird scenario that we're living in, Mike Brown's in his 90s. He's dead. His daughter's in her 60s, like mid to late 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like, things can happen. Like, she might not want to keep it. Probably will. But, like, in this situation.
Listen. Jeannie Buss just sold the Lakers. So.
But that's my point. Exactly.
Yeah,
it proves it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying no. I would say no to Taylor.
And you hope for the best.
Give me something you wish for, and then I get to.
I got a couple of these. I already started thinking about my wishes. You want me to start football or you want me to start?
Do football.
Okay. Jackson Dart breaks Eli Manning's consecutive games played streak. So I get a healthy Jackson Dart for the next decade.
So Jackson Dart breaks the consecutive game streak. Okay. So that's how many games?
Well, 200, something like that. Basically, I just want a healthy Jackson Dart for as long as I had a healthy Eli Manning.
Okay. You get that. But Clay Travis owns the Giants. He owns them.
It's a hard no because here's why. Now we have Jackson Dart throwing to all white wide receivers, all white running backs. We got all white. We'll lose every game with our all white corners alone.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do a baseball one.
Yeah.
The Reds win another World Series, man.
The Reds win a World Series.
Haven't won one since 90. Haven't won a playoff series since 95. Reds win a World Series.
In what? And just like at some point, you're not even putting a time limit on this.
We'll say in the next 10 years.
In the next 10 years.
10 years.
Okay. The Reds win a World Series in the next 10 years. Okay. And in the next within 4 years of that, Isla's pregnant.
Okay, so let's see here. So
Isla's how old right now?
she just turned 3.
All right. So she's pregnant before she's 17.
So she's got a kid at 16.
Yeah. 16 or 17.
No. No.
But
No.
come on,
Because
you're an old dad. You could still be a regular age grandpa.
yeah, but
Maybe
we'd
she
be raising the kid here.
Maybe she meets a nice guy at church.
It's not even about her. I know this sounds awful. Like she'll be fine. You got a kid. You got a kid. It's about that goddamn baby in my house in my 60s.
Also, I just said she's pregnant. You know, she also have, your 17-year-old daughter could have an abortion, I guess.
Well, yeah, but that's not the that wasn't where you were going.
No, it wasn't. But also, I'm like, no, it kind of was too, because I'm just like, this is some shit you got to deal with. You get a Reds championship in the next 10 years, but you also have to deal with your teen pregnancy in your household.
No. Yeah, I'm good. I got one. Like it's memorable. You know what I'm saying? Like I got that good one with Walt.
Well, see, now I like this because now we're going to take it up a notch. Because you came with the Reds. I was going to go with Mets, Knicks championships in the next 5 years.
Mets and Knicks?
Mets and Knicks. I want my boys in blue and orange.
Both of them.
Yeah.
In the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. So 5 years.
You're like Riley Gaines owns the Knicks.
No, I'm not doing her. Okay, the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Here it is. You can't attend a single Mets or Knicks game in the next 5 years.
Wow.
That's the trade-off. No playoffs, no regular season, no preseason, nothing.
Okay. I can watch them on TV, obviously.
You watch them on TV.
Okay.
Can't attend a single one. Home, away, nothing.
And I get both.
You get both. You can't attend
All
a
right.
single team.
I think I'm going to take it, but based on this, can my genie deal here, can my deal with the devil be known? Can I be like, guys, this is on me. Like I did this. By not attending any games for 5 years, this is why we've done this. Because then
Yeah,
I
so
come
what's the
back.
angle?
I come back in a blaze of glory. I don't know. There's some part of me that's like, how do I not get to go to a World Series game?
But that's what I'm saying. You don't get to experience.
I can
You
go to
and
the
I both know
parade.
this. The joy of is everything of being at. You don't even have to be at the World Series, but like being at a playoff game, being at a regular season, whatever it is, you don't get to experience any of the joy of the next 5 years. That's the caveat. Not a single game. Is it really worth it if you don't be a part of this? That's why it's so hard.
It is hard. I'll tell you what. If you had presented that deal for the Knicks alone, I would take it. Because basketball, it's so expensive, and then like what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then like especially in the playoffs, that's when you want to go to the Garden. It's like I don't have $5,000 to go to a Knicks finals game at the Garden anyway. But like, and then the regular season games, you're like whatever. But like, yeah, not being able to go to the baseball games be tough. But I think I'd take it
You take it.
for both. I'm gonna
For both,
take it.
yeah, that's the scenario.
I'm gonna take it. I don't know how I'd feel after. I'll tell you what, I'll fucking get litty at the parades. we're setting Miller Lite records. Dog.
If they did know, you'd be able to float. They'd be putting you up. Well, this is Mr. No Chill. He did this. I don't know how the wifey would feel about you.
They'd be like, is that the State Puff Marshmallow Man? Oh, it's Miller Lite guy. Like, boom, boom, boom.
These are good. I'll be honest. I could continue doing this, but I think we should get to some calls.
Okay, let's do it.
I like this. Let's do a couple more.
Gentlemen, John here in Minnesota. I think 2 years ago, I gave you a hypothetical free roll for $1,000 if you could pick one Super Bowl champion in the next 5 years that was not the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh.
I want to extend this and change things up a bit for you. Maybe play this on the episode when Prano's gone in Japan. If you would like, you could forego that bet and take a new one. You can have a $500 free roll and pick a different team who will win the Super Bowl in the next 3 years.
Ooh.
Now, the stipulations will remain the same. You cannot pick the Chiefs, but you can pick the two previous Super Bowl winners, the Eagles and the Seahawks. So what would you do?
I would love to know who we picked when he gave us the free rolls the first time. It was 2 years ago. There's no way I picked either the Eagles or the Seahawks. So, this is tough.
Pick any team.
3 years. That's what he said, right? 3 years.
So am I just picking one team?
Yeah. 3 years to pick for one of these teams to win the Super Bowl. This is really tough. I'll tell you where my head's at a little bit. So do I go like last licks of McVay and Stafford?
That's where my head instantly went.
Do I go fresh vibes in Buffalo? Is Josh Allen going to be, and the answer could be yes. Is Josh Allen going to be the Patrick Ewing, the Charles Barkley, the Dan Marino, the whatever of an era where you're like, he was incredible, but he just never got it done? And if you say yes, okay. But if you say no, he'll eventually get it. I don't think he has the Elway in him. I think if Josh Allen's winning a Super Bowl, he's winning it in the next 3 years. I'm trying to even think who else is even in my mix right now.
Are the Bears?
3 years in that division. I don't think.
Are the Packers?
No, I'd go to the Bears before I went to the Packers because of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. I don't believe in Bo Nix enough or Sean.
The Rams one is interesting. The Rams is what I instantly thought of because I was like, "Is this a Stafford?"
Well, what about the Patriots? Like, are you there?
I wouldn't commit to them.
Okay.
I'm like, who comes in after Stafford? Like, do they get like a Burrow or somebody? from a
But
franchise.
now here's another thing to think about. Okay. Another thing to think about. And this is what I thought about with the Rams. The Rams are in the division with the defending Super Bowl champs who don't look like they're going to get worse.
I agree.
But also, back-to-back years, the Rams gave the Super Bowl winner their best game of the playoffs by far. I mean, if you had done this if we had done this time last year, how quickly do you think we would have jumped on like a Commanders? How quickly do you think we would have jumped on like a, I don't know, like it's crazy how shit can change in 1 year, right?
It is crazy.
I'm trying to think of teams that I'm even like, who else is even, who am I not thinking of that I'd be like really like, oh, they got a good.
I still think Eagles have a good potential.
Because who do they get after it hurts? I like where your head's at there.
The Ravens are interesting to me too. Like, do they have like a renaissance without Lamar and a great defense?
Without Lamar.
Yeah.
And without Harbaugh. Oh, without Lamar and Harbaugh. You're just like, I'll take the Ravens as an organization blind.
I'm not saying I take them.
Literally playing poker without looking at your cards.
I'm just put it out there.
I'm going in order. I'm probably going. It's tough because, you almost talked me into the Bears because they have a good coach. That's for sure. It's a tough division. Do I believe in the Bears more than I believe in? I think in order, I'm going Rams, Bills, Bears.
Bills aren't in my list. Sorry. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. He doesn't make plays in the playoffs enough for me. I'm going Rams, Bears, either Eagles or Ravens.
Now, let me ask you something because you brought up the Ravens. What about the Ravens situation makes you more confident in them than the Steelers situation?
I mean, for real?
Yeah.
Because one is they're taking a chance on like a young coach, which could be great, could be a disaster.
The Steelers hired Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, I was like,
this is one of the all-time.
That's why I said you for real.
This is one of the all-time.
Like,
I still can't believe it happened. I'm gonna do. Mark my words, DirtBalls. Mark my words, DirtBalls. This is how absurd a hire that is. I am going to do that 6 more times before week 1. I'll do it. Guys, I'm going to do it because my brain isn't going to let itself process that the Steelers made that hire. It's just going to refuse to process that anybody would do that.
Yeah, it's insane. None of it makes sense. It's wild. All right, let's do a couple more of these calls. I forget what this one says.
South Carolina DirtBall Jordan. 2 things. One, I wanted to give some feedback on the Joe Prano betting method. Reached out to him on Instagram, got some awesome tips, lined up some sweet parlays, lost my house and my marriage, so thank you, Joe. Secondly, I've got a niche topic, not a niche topic, but a topic for your theme episode as it relates to niche sports. So non-major sports. I'm curious if you could give like top 5 that you could see yourself getting super into, and then top 5 like worst, corniest, if you play this, you suck. Examples like tennis, maybe not super niche, sorry, Joe. Pickleball, I personally am asking because I am super into disc golf, which I feel like falls on most people's loser side. So I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about, I don't know, darts. Stay dirty.
Okay, 5's a lot. I'll be honest. We're not gonna do 5 like of each. That's a lot. I could totally get into pickleball.
Really?
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
Also convenient that there's a pickleball court in my neighborhood, right next to the HOA pool and the kids' playground. So like the kids like to go up there. You know what I'm saying? Like convenience factor. Oh, I put them in the stroller. Her and I play, or a buddy. The kids are running around the playground. The kids are running around the basketball court, which is right. You know what I'm saying? Like I could totally get into pickleball for that reason.
Pickleball's on my fucking on my no-go list, and here's why. I'm not really a big racket guy generally, but a couple of rackets where it's like I don't play tennis. I've never played tennis. I'm Tom Hanks in Bachelor Party playing tennis. But I prefer, I've played pickleball. I far prefer paddle tennis to pickleball, and I far prefer racquetball to tennis. Racquetball, in my opinion, is the best racket sport. And guess what? I'll take it one further. Badminton's really fun.
You play badminton over pickleball?
Oh yeah, little birdie action.
Wow.
Yeah. We've both been real big beach volleyball guys in our day. I love me some beach volleyball.
That's fun.
I love me some darts. Love me some darts. Love me some bocce. Is it a sport? I don't know. If curling's a sport, how's bocce not in the Summer Olympics? What are we doing here? I love me some bocce. Yeah. There's a restaurant up in Santa Barbara that has a bocce court in the backyard, and it has a sign that says the oldest bocce court between Los Angeles and San Francisco. It's a glorious place. Arnoldi's in Santa Barbara. If anybody needs a great Italian restaurant with bocce in the backyard. So I could get into some fucking botch. A little bocce gloop. What else? Oh, he said disc golf. I love some disc golf. I haven't done the disc golf thing with like bringing your putter disc and your whatever, but I've played some disc golf, and disc golf is really fun. And disc golf is really fun for the same reason golf is really fun, because you're out in nature and you're like, oh, look at this. Gotta bend it around those trees. This is kind of cool. So yeah, I fucks with some disc golf.
Again, my head is just thinking like practically just like with 2 little kids, what is an easy. That's why I just said that. And I do have rackets. Like I have a pickleball set now.
Oh, so you've been doing it. You're already playing.
I started playing last summer.
Oh, okay.
Not much. I played like 4 or 5 times. But like enough to where like I had a buddy come over a few times, and then Brittany and I played a couple times, and I was like, oh. And she was into it too. She was like, oh, it's something I could get into. Because Isla loves just fetching the balls. So it's great. Literally had one kid in a stroller watching, baby just like watching. It's eye candy. Oh, back and forth. And she's playing as the ball girl. So it's like, but like other ones that are like niche, like, I don't know.
I'd love to do some car racing.
Is Papa Shot niche sports?
Nah, it's more of a parlor game.
I'm joking. I haven't actually even played in a while.
Love to do some racing. I mean, along the same lines as Papa Shot. I mean, the greatest sport that's ever been created on God's green earth is wiffle ball, but it's like, it's not quite, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a sport.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just start the pool volleyball league and get it on already.
Ooh. Oh, Mayor. It's a shame he broke up with me.
If you ever decide if you ever decide that your kids need a pool, Andy, you need to design a pool specifically around the dimensions of perfect pool volleyball. Just make it like 5 feet deep, so it's like deep but not too deep, but like straight all the way across.
Yeah.
Good width.
That's hilarious. I see my computer. I can't plug it in with. We got like one more call. I can't because you know what I'm saying, because I already have
Run out of juice.
Run out of juice, and then I can't plug it in because of I'm using those ports.
All right, so let's let this last one fly.
Sure, because it's actually the last call we have.
Great.
So this works.
What's going on, guys? This is Hunter from Michigan. Just calling in with a prediction about quarterbacks in the NFL. Curious to see what you guys think. I am predicting, and I'm believing that we're seeing the start of it, especially with these last 2 Super Bowls, that we are about to completely leave the age of the franchise quarterback behind, and we are going to go into an era where quarterbacks are treated not completely, because I don't think that'll ever happen, but way more like just a regular NFL position. Because when you look at the trend of QBs right now, and you guys have already talked so much about how QBs are not the on-the-field coaches making checks on the line, franchise players that the class before the current players were, I really think that when you look at team success, the quarterback is not this focal point that it used to be, at least not in the terms of building a team where step one is going out and finding your Eli Manning, your Ben Roethlisberger, your Phillip Rivers. I think you're going to see teams put less of an emphasis on going into a draft or going out and getting, quote unquote, your guy. Because it seems like this new model of creating an absolutely stacked defense, having a really good squad, and then finding, a journeyman quarterback like Sam Darnold really, really works for teams. Interesting prediction, I think, but I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Condoms in this case are for Joe Prano, because I am a geography teacher, and every single time I use the word France, all I can hear is Joe Prano saying, "We come from France." So thanks for that. Catch you guys later.
Geography teacher. Okay.
It's a Coneheads. Blame Dan Aykroyd.
That's hilarious. Okay.
I
disagree. It should go that way, but it won't.
I agree with this, but and I've started to hint at this over the course of this year. I think that there's one more layer to it that wasn't explored in the call that I think is just as much a factor as anything else, if not more of a factor, which is now offenses are becoming very scheme heavy.
Yeah.
So you don't need that guy. You don't want that guy. And I think this goes back down the levels of football. I think we're now seeing on the college thing, like, this is the offense we play. Let's find a guy who plays this style and we bring him in and we fit him in here, as opposed to, and this is something that happened when I was growing up watching college football. They'd be like, Notre Dame, like, do you remember Notre Dame getting Ron Paulus? You know what I mean? They were like,
yeah.
they got like the #1 quarterback prospect. And Notre Dame literally was like, I guess we're going to try to pass the ball more. And it didn't really work. But like, there were so many times where they were like, we're going to get this player, this elite player, and now we'll create our system around him. I think more and more coaches are going scheme, find the people that fit our scheme. And that is now progressed to the NFL, where coaches are going to do that. So I agree with the caller with a caveat, which is, and it might be Peyton Manning's son, or it might be fucking Dan Orlovsky's son, or it might be whoever, Sean McVay's kid. It might be somebody that was born and raised to live and breathe and just understand football on another level, much like the two Manning brothers and Brady and all those guys coming at the same time, which is, I think that this could last right up until a guy comes who can play that elevated game of mind football again. And then that team just starts ripping off fucking touchdowns and then or titles. And then it shifts back again where they're like, fuck this team.
I don't think it will, because I think there's such a push, and a lot more of it's marketing than actual skill. It's like quarterback is obviously now, then, and in the future, it's always the sexiest position. It's obviously the most important position. It's the guy who's pitching products. It's the guy in TV commercials, all those things. Guy doing cameos in movies.
I still think that guys will be locked in as like quote unquote franchise QBs, but I don't think that they'll be like, I think we're going to see a downshift in how much of the cap is going to quarterbacks.
By the way, I hope you're right. Because again, I agree.
But I think that this is a byproduct of what's happened. Caleb Williams is a great quarterback, but he's not one of those guys because he was a scheme. He played in two different colleges. He had different teams. He's like, these guys are now scheme quarterbacks that are coming into the NFL, and then they're shifting into, now he's just Ben Johnson's scheme quarterback.
Well, Caleb Williams is interesting because I've seen a lot of arguments against him as well. And it's so funny to me. People want to bring up his completion percentage or this and that. And I'm just like, are you actually watching the games? The throws that he can make, again, I don't know if any other QB right now can make those throws.
Right. But I don't think any of these, that's why we keep going back to it. And that's why I think it's an offensive, it's an offensive thing that has happened, that a guy like Eli Manning is not in the Hall of Fame, because I think that era, when you talk about Brady, both Mannings, Breeze, Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, we went through the golden age of quarterbacks. It'll never be like that again. And I think now we have this next batch that came from that, which is the Mahomeses and the Lamars and the Allens. And look, only Mahomes, and even that, like, it's already kind of dialing it back a little bit, where they're being like, well, and I think we're going to see that financially. I think they're going to balloon to the point where they're 40% of your cap. I think it's going to be dialed back, and they're like, we're going to build stronger teams, and we'll just, if we can't find a guy, then we'll plug in a guy like a Sam Darnold. We'll plug in a guy like this. But I think, and Matthew Stafford's like, hanging on to that last generation, and he's a little older, and he's going to be out of here soon. But like, an Anakin Skywalker type will emerge 5 years or 8 years from now and go, yeah, cool. Well, my dad was my college coach or whatever, and I fucking read defenses, and we won the national title because I'm the shit, and who wants me? And it could shift again, because schemes are great, but guys who can out chess you at the line, it's another level. We're in a place with football where these offenses are so good because these schemes are so good. But now how are we going to attack that? With some defensive schemes. And then what's going to be the counter to the counter? The
game moves so fast.
It's going to be a quarterback who can go back to changing shit at the line. So I agree with the caller, and then I agree it'll shift back the other way 10 years from now. when Arch or whoever Payton's kid is gets to the league.
Well, thanks for the calls, guys. Thanks for the DMs. 859-832-0478 is the hotline. Joe will be in Japan when this episode drops.
I will. So if you've been to Japan, or if you've lived in Japan, or if you have any Japan things, send me some recommendations. I
heard the sushi's good over there.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Tokyo on Wednesday for 5 days, then up to Niseko which is in Hokkaido, for some snowboarding for 4 days, and then down to Kyoto via Osaka for 2 days, then back to Tokyo, and then home. The honeymoon. So anything you guys got, let me know. And
let me know if they had. Didn't they have like used panties and vending machines and stuff?
I'll find out for you. That's for sure.
I think that was a thing at one point in Japan.
Yeah, there's a lot of vending machines there. They're big on vending machines.
Yeah.
So, I'm absolutely. I'll go exploring. I'll see what I can find for.
Why do they love vending machines so much?
Oh, I don't know. Aren't vending machines great if they can do all the shit that you need them to do? Like,
will you be documenting all this?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of pictures. There'll be a lot of Instagram.
I'm just curious. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'll be sharing it out there, and I'll be doing a show while I'm there.
Okay. One more wish thing. One more wish thing. I was gonna pick your wish and then also pick your.
Okay.
You get a second house in Japan.
I
know you've never been there, but like it's yours. You don't have to pay for it ever. No mortgage, nothing.
Well, I don't know if you know anything about. You can get a house in Japan for like $40,000.
Really?
You can get houses in Japan for like $15,000.
Okay, bad. Okay, you get a house anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere in the world.
Okay.
For free.
Here we go.
Riley Gaines is your neighbor.
Oh, bro. I wish Riley Gaines. I want Riley Gaines to be my neighbor. I'll go out I'll make that bitch's life hell.
Okay, so you'd accept. Okay.
Yeah, I'd accept that. Fuck yeah. I'd go out there every day. I'd be like, grifter bitch. You want to come over and fucking have a debate? You can do it in my shed.
Okay, here's one. Here's a different one.
I think everybody in this fucking every dirtball should be send Piers Morgan's show an email. Tell him I can't wait to come on and undress every single argument Riley Gaines has ever made. And by the way, I just want to remind everybody, because a lot of our fans have been like, I don't get what your thing is. I think sports should be separated by biological sex. So Riley Gaines and I agree on that. One of us is just pretending to care about it for money, and the other one just
I don't get it either, but that like she's gonna do it. Like all these people are gonna do their thing, you know?
Yeah. And I'll always be here to call them grifter fucks.
But like, does that make you feel better? Like, do you sleep better?
It does. I'm fucking. If I was a superhero and I had a little mask and a little fucking thing, it'd be like an H with a line through it. I'd just be Captain Hypocrisy. Like, I'm just out here calling out people. Nothing. I don't think anything's worse than people who just straight up lie for money. It feels like maybe the grossest thing that you could do, because it's not for anything. It's not for any good of the world. It's just personal. Just for personal wealth. There's
a lot of people.
I'll just lie and divide people and make people angry and spread racism or transphobia or whatever. Like, there's so many people out there who are doing that now, and you're just like, man, don't you think about your effect on the world? And what do you get from it? You get a couple bucks. Seems crazy. Seems like if you were really like a Christian, that you might know that you'll end up in hell for it. Not that I believe in that.
Well, it's a market. It's for sure.
Not that they believe in that. Let's be honest. If they did.
But that's the point. It's a financial.
Yeah.
It's an economy.
So snatching kids off the street of Hong Kong and selling them out of
Yeah,
your
but I'm not
basement,
justifying.
but, like,
I'm just
you're a
saying. I'm
fucking
just saying
piece
we
of
live
shit.
in we live in weird times that like it's a shtick, and it's there are economic gains. Okay, one more before my computer dies. Same situation. You can get a house anywhere. You can't eat Italian food ever again.
I can't eat Italian food ever again.
None.
All right. Now we got to break down like what's Italian food. Like, okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there because I need a like proper Italian food. I can never eat proper Italian food ever again. Like, we're gonna go to Japan. One of the things I've seen on the menu in Japan, they have, you know what udon is, right? It's like a noodle dish.
Okay. Yeah,
There's a place there that makes udon carbonara. So it's like Japanese noodles with like bacon and egg and whatever. I'd be like, well, if that's my pivot, like, okay,
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
and fucking yeah, like if I could have a sick ass, like if I could have a beach house in fucking Santa Barbara, and I just had to like now I just eat Mexican and Japanese and American food. Yeah, I'll take it. It'd be crazy. And probably like in my 90, you know, people will be like, when I'm 90, I'm going to try heroin. Like when I'm on my deathbed, instead of
People
giving
say that?
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. Which by the way, you will. They'll give you fentanyl while you're in that bed. Like when I'm 90, instead of giving my kids this beautiful beach house that's now worth $27 million because of inflation, I'll probably be like, sorry, kids, you can't have it. I'm having chicken parmesan.
I need that slice of pizza. Give me that sausage pizza.
Come see the show in Tokyo Saturday, February 28th, Comedy Bar Tokyo, or come see me when I get back to the States in Steamboat Springs, March 13th, 14th, Tahoe, March 27th, 28th, San Rafael or Marin County, March 31st. Come to a show.
Good stuff. Well, yeah, this will be out on Thursday or Friday this week, and then like I said, just stay tuned, guys. I got some things in the works, so I'm not even gonna tip my hand on that. You'll see how it plays out. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Safe travels to Mr. No Chill. Off to Japan. All right, come home safely. You guys have a great. He's bowing for those who cannot see. He's bowing. Say hi to Mr. Miyagi for me. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And as always, stay dirty.